The palette is totally, whoa, it's Paisa Vasool. This is the day look, evening shade that I tried to create from using this palette. I have used highlighter, a couple of shades here to make that pink shade. I've used their champagne shade as highlight. I've used their blush, and I've used some other brown shade as the bronzer as well. Beautiful, beauty. So now let it just dry off and I'll just move. Wow. Okay, let's start. Hey guys, what's up? So today's video is something you all have read the title, of course. So this is something that I am super excited for, to unbox it. I've already unboxed it, but to swatch it, to play with it. And you all know how much I love playing with eyeshadows. So let's dive in. I'm not even going to do my intro in this video because I'm just so excited to dive into this myself with you guys that I just don't want to do my intro either. But do subscribe to my channel. So this is the box. Sorry, my lighting's coming on it. It's a plain black box with my marks on it. Then this is where the shade names and everything's given. If you guys want, I can read out a little bit. So it says the palette features 21 powdery shades of the richest eyeshadows and 5 shades of blush to suit all skin tones. I'm not reading the ingredient too much. They have named all the shades here. So, and it's not just eye shades, they also have blush, which I'm pretty sure you guys would already know about. And of course, I'm going to swatch them. They have even given steps on how to use. So this says that it has no animal testing, it is vegan, and it is paraben free. Let's open it. It doesn't feel expensive for a 3000 rupee palette. It just doesn't. It feels very lightweight. Like my first thought, is extremely lightweight. And the same thing that was there on the packaging is here as well. This is what it looks like. It's nice, and that's how big it is. Like, it's pretty big, if you guys can make out. The colors are beautiful. It comes with this. These are the colors. So it's a mix of matte. These are the blush shades. It's a mix of matte and shimmer. The colors are quite interesting. I hope you guys can see. I'm sure you can. The colors are quite interesting. I'm going to give you a close-up of the colors also. So it has a mix of your browns, pinks, nudes, shimmer, and of course the blush. Let's play with it. I really like this shade from their palette. Like, I'm loving this shade, and I'm also wearing something that's very much similar to the shade, of course, on purpose. I've done that. So let's start. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna try a different eye look. Let's try a shimmer eye look here, and let's try a matte eye look here. And like, basically we'll try and play around with different colors. I'm gonna look really odd by the end of the video because I'll have 2 different eyes, but then that's the whole point. I'll see and swatch and show you guys how it is, and of course I'll swatch the brushes as well. Okay, before we begin, I was thinking let's swatch a couple of shades. So let's start a little with the brown shade because I absolutely love browns. Now, I'm not very good at swatching, so I'm gonna try my best. Okay, these seem quite nice. They seem really nice and pigmented. Let's swatch it. It's a nice pigmented palette. I mean, as I said, I'm not very good at swatching. And I have a little bit left here. Okay. Let's try that pink shade that I was really liking. That's what it looks like. So for matte, they're quite pigmented. And honestly, like I can't say much here. Once I use it on my eyes, that's when I can tell you. But one thing I can tell you guys for sure, that they do not feel chalky at all. Like they just don't feel chalky at all. Let's swatch one or two shimmer shades. I'm gonna swatch this one. That's like a nice copperish shade. It's super pigmented. It's really pigmented. Like I don't expect that kind of pigment from shimmer shades. It's really nice. Paisa vasool. Now let's try another shimmer shade. I'm trying this one out. That's what it looks like. And I'm gonna try it here. Ooh. Loving it. It's a really good palette. Swatch one of the blush shades. I'm swatching this one. It's like a coral pinkish color. Even the blushes are quite pigmented, but nobody applies blush like this, so there's no point. But anyways, be in short, trying out a few colors. Let me just try out one last one, which is again a matte. It's like I absolutely love such colors. Look at that. I suck at swatching. So that, and all the shades are beautiful. Like I'm really surprised by the shimmer shades. Like they're super pigmented. Anyways, let's start. So I'm thinking we'll do like a pinkish eye here and like a black smoky eye here. So let's start with a pink one. And also shades have names, so I can take the names and tell you what names is what. I'm using the shade first, Almond. I'm using the PAC ESO1 brush. It absolutely has no fallout, and I'm pressing it a bit too hard to check the fallout. It has no fallout. Those of you are new to my channel, so I'm no professional makeup artist or anything. It's just something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that I love. So that's about it. I might do something wrong, and you can let me know. I'm open to suggestions. If I'm doing something wrong, you can let me know in the comments below. But just saying that I'm no professional here. I use this all over my eyes. It's the almond shade. The shades are quite nice and pigmented. I never get this kind of payoff with at least the nude or the base shades at all, and I'm getting that also here. Oh no, I'm going to do the other smoky eye here, so not there. Yeah. I'm going to use the shade Brick in my crease using the PAC ESO6 brush. So this is the PAC brushes, the eye brushes set. I bought that, so I'm using all of those. I'm not going for a very defined crease look, but just like giving it a transition. But this color is not coming off that well, I guess, not on camera at least. It's visible, but I don't know if it's visible on camera or not. Taken a little bit of this packed bristles, and I'm using the brush ES10, it's like that, and I'm dipping into the mulberry shade just a little bit to have a little bit strong cut crease, a transition shade basically, if that's what it's called. Like very little, not a lot. Yeah, अभी दिख रहा है ना that transition thingy of cut crease. Like, I know makeup, but I think I might suck at doing tutorials. I am in love with this eyeshadow palette. Love. I'm using this flat brush and it's the ES09, and I'm dipping into my most favorite shade from this palette. It is called Cranberry. Absolutely love this shade. Loving it. I can always build it up a little more to add a little bit more of pop to it. It's super blendable, buildable, whatever. People who really know makeup and watching this must be cursing me, no? कुछ भी बोल रही है. Should do mute tutorials. That'd be better. लोग देख के तो समझ ही जाएंगे. Anyways, so अभी इधर बहुत ज़्यादा harsh line type हो गया, so I'm gonna blend that out with the PAC ES02 brush. This is what it looks like. I'm just gonna blend this bit because it looks too harsh. And the shades are very much easily blendable. You don't have to work very hard on it. See the difference after blending it. I'm going to do the outer crease thing with this shade called Mulberry, like Cranberry and Mulberry. Perfect. I think यही मैं use करने वाली हूँ इस पूरे palette में सबसे ज़्यादा. I mean, I'm sure you guys have that too, right? There are one or two colors that you absolutely love so much from a palette and you just end up going back to those colors only every time. Even though like all the colors in this palette are very pretty, but just saying, you know what I mean, right? Anyways, I'm using this flat brush and this is called ES07. I'm gonna do that here. I'm patting it out, I'm not really blending it. Using very gentle brush strokes. See, it gives that dimension of another color. So I'm quite liking how the shades really pick up, look different, like from the base shade to the crease shade, all the shade looks very, very different. So it's very, very nice palette. Now, if those of you who like matte shades, now this could be the perfect end to it. Like you could stop here and not add glitter. But since I'm testing out the palette, I mean, I would definitely go for this because I'm not that much of a glitter person. But since as I said, I'm testing out the palette, let's test out this shade in between the Mulberry and Cranberry. It is called Ruby Glare. And it is the one that I had swatched. I think it was this one. Yeah, this one. And I'm taking the PAC ES07 palette. Nykaa is upping its game. There are a lot of products of Nykaa that I've used and I've also not liked, but this one's like really good. Okay, little bit fallout here in this shade, but very, very little. Done with the look. I'm just gonna do a little bit of the under eye as well. So I don't like a very loud under the eye thing, so I'm gonna go ahead with the shade, the crease shade that I used, Brick, and I'm using this flat brush. This is ES13. I think I should just clean this bit first. I'm gonna clean this bit. hate it when that happens. So using that, and I'm gonna use this white kajal, this skin kajal by Kohl, to just complete the look a bit. So I'm going more for a daytime and nighttime space here. So this will be day, this will be night. And daytime I like using this pencil. And I'm using the mascara. This is by Maybelline. I'm using this small brush. This is the ES12, and I'm going to dip into this very first shade. This is called Blonde, and I'm going to use that for the inner corner of my eye. Can you guys see? It's quite nice. Let's try the blush also, two different ones. This again is the pack brush. This is 003, and let's dive into this really pretty coral shade, this one. They look quite pigmented, so I'm just gonna dip in very little. I was going to go very little, but okay. What? As I said, they're quite pigmented, really. So I like a heavy blush, not that heavy. Okay, these are like next level wala pigment, so be very careful when you apply the blush, because hello, pigment too much, which is good, but I've just taken too much. And there is no going back from this. I'm just gonna redo this. Let me just remove it and do it again so that I can genuinely show you guys how much to take and all. Okay, so I'm using a makeup wipe. This is by Colorbar, and I'm removing it. It comes off also pretty easily. So now let it just dry off, and I'll just move. Wow. परेशान हूँ मैं अपने आप से. Okay, same time, same thing. I'm just gonna dip in once. That's it. It's still got a lot of product, so they're definitely very nicely pigmented blushes. And use a very light hand. This shade. Such nice variety of colors for everybody who likes little light to a little dark, like whatever your preference is. I kind of like coal. Let me know what kind of blush you guys like in the comments below. And I tend to wear my blush here, so it gives and I already have a very puffy face and curly hair, so it tends to give that illusion of a lifted face and high cheeks, which I don't have. Hence, we play with illusions. Now this is something that I personally love doing. I love testing out the glitter shades as highlighter. So let's test out for this one too. Okay, champagne, this one. It looks really appealing for highlighting. So let's try that one out. It literally has no fallout whatsoever. Let's get it to test. Once more. Now we're talking. That's the glitter shade which I have used, as a highlighter, which is something that I absolutely love doing because I don't like carrying a lot of makeup along with me, like whenever I'm traveling, that is. So quite nice. Use a little on my nose and here. These are the points that I usually highlight. यहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया. So I really like this shade. Let's do one more thing. Let's try contouring our face with the brown shades here. Let's try, because I really like it when, and these are powders, right? So you can like give it a shot with different stuff. No, so like if you can do your entire face with one palette, it'll be so worth to buy this one palette and not buy different type of makeup, especially even if you're a beginner and you might not know this fancy shiz, but you can just buy this one palette and then it will really help you like to just like have one thing to do all your makeup with. I mean, of course not your foundation and lipstick and tidbits, of course, but major stuff, which is your eyes and whatever for your face, you'll get it from here as well. Anyway, so let's try bronzer. Now the lightest bronzer that I like it light only. For bronzing, I'm really liking the shade called Nut Brown. So I'll mix a bit of caramel and nut brown, which is right next to each other, because this might end up being a little too dark. And I'm using this bronzing brush by Wet n Wild. I'm gonna mix the two a little and use, it'll be too pigmented. So I usually bronze first and then I do the blush and then the highlight. It's just that abhi batti late jali to. And I usually tend to do it a little up. Sari galtiyan aaj hi hogi. You can see that you can very much contour with this palette also. I don't usually contour my cheeks so much compared to my jawline, which I don't have any, but still. So I like contouring, right. I like contouring this area the most, and wow, it's working out perfectly. You can definitely use, I mean, blush to isme hai. You can use this as a highlighter. You can use this as a contour thing as well. Kilo, ye thoda galat ho gaya, but you guys get the gist now. I'm gonna take this brush and dip it little into that same shade that I was using for contouring, and do it a little bit on my nose as well. Just gonna blend it with my hands only. It's super duper blendable, guys. Like, itna sahi palette, and I was actually thinking that 3,000 rupees for a palette could be a lot, approx 3,000 to 2,999. 3,000 hua na. So like, but it's totally worth it. Totally. So that is the pinkish space. I have used highlighter, I have used all the pink whatever stuff. I've literally used couple of shades here to make that pink shade. I've used their champagne shade as highlight. I've used their blush, and I've used some other brown shade as the bronzer as well. Beautiful, beauty, loving it. And the shades are super pigmented, super blendable, class. Now let's start with the smoky eye tutorial. Okay, I'm using the shade Teeny Towny, I don't know how you pronounce it, using the brush ES06. And since I'm going ahead with the smoky eye, so I'm going to just go ahead and put a little darker shade as my base shade for the lid. I'm doing a brown smoky eye, not a black smoky eye. I really do hope the next palette, yeah, आज ही launch हुआ है, मुझे next palette भी चाहिए, बताओ. Whatever next palette they come up with, they have more colors to play around it. But yeah, what I really like, no, is that they have very everyday, if not everyday, but you know, like the shades that generic people will go for. Like generally we will use these kind of shades if you're ever going to work, wedding, brunch, out with friends, whatever. Like the moment you have different yellows and purples, a lot of people don't tend to use those kind of shades. So these are the kind of shades that everyone will use it some way or the other in their daily lives. That's what is very interesting. So they've given a nice thought when they were picking out the shades. Face shade, and being very honest with you, there are times when I've just worn this and eyeliner and I've left the house. ये सब तामझाम आप तभी करते हो जब आपके पास बहुत टाइम होता है लाइफ में. हर रोज नहीं होता है ये. But of course, if I'm doing it for YouTube, I'll show you guys. But this is like the kind of eyes that I would literally stick to for every day. Like I'll just wear this, wear an eyeliner. That's it. Next, I'll use the shade Nutmeg for the crease. I personally like doing browns than pinks. Like these kind of pinks were like closer to earthy pinks, like, but not too much into pop colors, I guess. Would you guys want to go for this shade ever in the future? Like, would you guys opt for buying this? I'm diving into the shade Mocha to create a little stronger crease, and I'm using Pack ES08 for it. So I really like creating these lines like this because it tends to make your eyes look big, and I quite like that. I'm going to use a blending brush, and just because it's too harsh here, right, so I'm just going to blend it out. Now the darkest brown shade that they have in their palette is this shade called Bark. So I'm going to put that on my lid and then I'm going to blend it. Doing could be wrong too, but then makeup has no rules, you know, so. And I'm also learning and I messed up and it's fine. Let's blend. In this color bar brush, this has this tip like that, and I really like this brush. Super affordable. Like color bar brushes, like see the mistake. Wow, loving it. जी हो गया. Now I'm going to take this angular brush and I'm going to take I'm going to try and make a smoky eyeliner with a black shade. Let's see how pigmented the black is. Now this is a local brush that I had bought from a local place. I'm not very good at making a winged liner, but let's try. It's quite pigmented, even the black shade. Don't judge my winged liner creations, not very good at it. But just for you guys to know if the palette is pigmented or not, you guys can make out. And leave all the hate comments in the thing. तुमको तो makeup करना आता भी नहीं है. And this is the black shade, that was the brown. I mean, the colors are so pigmented that you can actually make out that every color is different. And that is kick-ass. Now to complete the look, I'm going to wear a kajal with this look. This is by Color Bar. add mascara. If you're wondering why am I not wearing lashes, well, cause I don't. Since we are testing out the palette, let's test out glitter shades somewhere here in between just to test it out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it because I like the smoky eye as is. Okay, so I'm taking this shade called Copper and I'm gonna use that just a little bit of a halo somewhere in between. And I'm using the PAC ES07 for it. Go for it. It seems quite pigmented. I should have done this before, but then मेरी बत्ती हमेशा ही बाद में जलती है. Editing is something that I'm still figuring out. I'm new to YouTube. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet, so it'll be great if you could subscribe to my channel, help me grow too. But yeah, I'm figuring it out. But yeah, I think you guys can see. Nice. That's pretty much the look with the eyes. So I have done like an evening look here and a day look here. Obviously, you can switch to whatever you guys want to do, nothing like that, but I just tried doing an evening look here. Let me do the cheeks also. For the cheeks, let's use the darkest shade that these guys have. Let's be bold. Bold ho gaya. The same shade as I had used before for highlighting. So my overall view on the Nykaa Pro palette, go for it, guys. I mean, I can understand that it's a bit expensive, but you're getting blush, you're getting so many different shades, everyday wearable shades. You have glitter, you have matte. You can use this as a bronzer, as I showed you, the brown shades. You can use the glitter shades, the light ones, as highlighter. And of course the different eye looks that you can create within. And of course you have 5 different types of blush as well. Like, what more could you guys ask for? Just go for it. Like, it's a little big to carry like that. It's black, so all my fingerprints will be visible. It does feel a little light. I mean, for 3,000 you can expect the product to be a little heavy and look, you know, like expensive wise. It's gonna be my new favorite toy to play with. I use this palette a lot. So that's all for this video, guys. I really hope that my review will help you in deciding whether you want to go for it or not. And if you're into beauty content, if you're into makeup, skincare, all of that, please do consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.